Hello and welcome everyone to week number 4 of Spiritual Beginnings. It's an incredible thing that we are doing when we take time out of our busy lives to expand our consciousness, quiet our minds, and increase our self-awareness. Thank you to all of you who keep coming back every week, and welcome to all the new people I see today. The intent of this group is to remind us of how truly incredible we are, and through consciousness and self-awareness bring more happiness, joy, and love into our lives. So tonight's topic is how our thoughts create our reality. It's sometimes a difficult concept to believe that our thoughts can be so powerful that they actually create our reality. Everything in the universe is vibrational, and our senses are vibrational interpreters. Our thoughts are powerful vibrational rockets that we are constantly launching. And every event that occurs is subject to our own individual interpretation of it. Every one of our interpretations of the same event becomes our own individual realities. Does everybody get that? So we can all see the same thing, the same event, and we can all form, and we all do form, our own realities as to what that event was. And each one of those realities being very real to us. So our individual interpretations of the event doesn't actually change the event. It just changes the way that we ourselves see it and live it. A good example of this is that age-old saying, is the glass half full or half empty? So let's give it a little twist. I think we all pretty much assume that the glass is filled with half water and half air. And quite frankly, who cares if it's half full or half empty? Big deal, it's only water and air. This time we're going to make the liquid pure liquid gold. So now that we're talking about something that's a little more monetarily valuable, it changes the stakes a bit more. So now looking at the glass, we can be excited that we have a glass that is half filled with gold. How awesome would that be? Or we could say, what happened to the rest of it? A simple shift in our thoughts can recreate our reality about the way we look at the glass of liquid gold. So the way we think about the glass of gold has the ability to make us feel positive about the abundance of it, or negative about the lack and or loss of the liquid because it's half empty. And in that creation of a reality, we probably made up a nice little story as to why there was only a half a glass of liquid gold. Where did the rest of it go? Did somebody steal it? Did it spill out? Or maybe another little story based on the abundance of our glass of liquid gold. Like, I wonder where it came from. What am I going to spend it on? So does our thought about the glass actually change the volume of liquid gold to air ratio? Of course it doesn't. So the only thing that was changed was our interpretation and our reality. So are we going to have an incredible day thinking about our abundance of gold? Or a day filled with bitterness, wondering why half the gold was missing and who possibly could have taken it? Two very real realities nonetheless. Here's an example of how our thoughts about an event can actually create our reality for the day. Let's say one morning you're in the bathroom and you're brushing your teeth, and you sit your cell phone down on the sink edge. And as you're brushing your teeth, you knock into the phone and the phone falls into the toilet. So at that moment, you have a choice, as we do with every event that occurs every moment of our day. You could reach down into the toilet and you can pull the phone out, shake it off, and say, okay, one more thing I need to add to my list today of things to do. And then you're probably going to have a decent day. So the alternative is to say, oh my God, freak out, go crazy all over the place, grab the phone, start cursing at yourself and just really getting yourself all worked up. So what's going to probably happen now is you're going to walk out of the bathroom, you're going to stub your toe, or something else is going to happen. Then the phone is going to ring, the house phone, of course, because your cell phone is now destroyed. So the house phone rings, and it's going to be that person you really didn't want to talk to. And because you're in such a ill state of mind at this moment, the conversation is not going to go well. And then you're probably going to get ready to go to work, and you're going to get dressed, and something's going to go wrong with that. Then you're going to get into the car, you're going to hit traffic, and it's just going to be a miserable drive to work. And then once you get there, you're going to be so uptight from all these events that started from the phone falling into the toilet and your reaction to it, that you're probably not going to have a good day. So a simple change in the way we react to an event creates our reality. The universe doesn't know what's good or bad for us. It just responds to what we are feeling and thinking, and then gives us more of whatever that is. How about the thing that we discussed a couple of weeks ago on stress? It's when you get into your car, you are going to create your own reality. So you can get into the car and you can have positive thoughts about your trip in the car being pleasant, taking the time to listen to your favorite music, listen to your audiobook, or just having the time to yourself and have a pleasant state of mind about it. Or you can take the flip side and expect it to be a miserable ride and run into all just horrible people on your way to work. And whatever you walk out the door looking for, I guarantee you the universe is going to give it to you. So another thing I did is I tested the whole concept of how our thoughts create on my own. Who here has heard of the book The Secret or have seen the movie The Secret? Okay, like 3/4 of you. Okay, so that's a good number of people. So the book The Secret was written by Rhonda Byrne, and it's based on the universal law of attraction. So it's exactly what we're talking about now. So whatever state of mind, whatever frame of mind you have, it's going to attract more of that stuff into your reality. And it could be for the day, for the moment, and it could be for a lifetime. If you have such deep embedded thoughts and emotions, then the universe is just going to keep giving you more of the same. Maybe it's a lack of money or a lack of love. And if you just keep focusing on the lack of and that negative feeling based on whatever it is, you're just going to keep bringing more of that into you. So one of the things that they talked about in this secret was the lack of money. And that we all, when we're heading to the mailbox at the end of the day to get the mail, a lot of us just say, geez, I wonder what bills are going to be there. And, that's pretty much what happened to me. I would open up the mailbox, it would be more bills and just all negative stuff, because that's the state of mind that I had, and that's what I expected, and that's what was given to me. So I tested this theory on my own. And I started, a few years ago now, I started to have the attitude when I walked to the mailbox, saying to myself, gee, I wonder what checks are going to be in the mail for me today. And even though there were still bills, I kept having that same attitude about, I wonder what checks are going to be in the mail for me today. So we never really know how the universe is going to make things happen, but it does, without fail. I didn't know what was going to make checks start appearing in my mail, but that was just my attitude, is I wonder what checks are going to be in my mail. So my business started to change, and just everything started to change around my business. And guess what started to happen? I started to receive checks in the mail. And I pretty much get a check in the mail, I would say at least every other day. So just by changing my thought, the universe responded to it and made it happen. So be careful of your thoughts. Another example, I had a Latino friend. I've had several Latino friends all my life. Actually, from being a teenager, I had especially two of my very close friends that I still have are Latino. And I recently met a new friend, and we were having a conversation, and he was talking about how Latinos are discriminated against in this country. And it kind of threw me for a loop because now I know discrimination happens all the time, unfortunately, but he was so convinced that Americans discriminated against the Latinos and a majority of the time. And I thought the total opposite. I just never saw it. And I certainly never heard of it from my Latino friends, since I was 19. And I felt bad because I thought, now were my friends suffering all these years with being discriminated against all of the time and they just never mentioned it to me? So I actually approached my friends and I asked them, and they said absolutely not. They never had a problem. And one is Cuban and one is Puerto Rican. So this other friend that was having the issue had that thought in his mind all the time. So he was telling me a story about how he went to Key West and he was with his family, and it was a large group, and they wanted to go out to dinner. So they went to a restaurant, and they told them they must have had like 15 people or something. So the restaurant said, well, if you just be patient, we'll have to, we'll put something together for you. So he stood there and he watched other people coming in and being seated in front of him. And he was going on and on about this story. And I stopped him and I said, wait a second, you said you had a large group of people, because he thought they weren't seating them because they were Latino. And I said, did you consider that they did not have enough seats in the same area or something to seat you yet? Why did you automatically think that it was because you were Latino? Well, he wasn't buying that as a possibility for why that was happening. So that's kind of an example of what happens. If we go out into the world expecting something, or expecting to be treated a certain way, or expecting a certain thing to happen, or expecting a certain reality, then that's what we're going to see, and that's what's going to be drawn to us. And even when we're faced with the decision, when an event happens, because we have a preset thought in our head, that we're going to make that our reality, whatever that thing is. So I thought that was a very interesting situation. And actually, recently, I had an experience with another good friend of mine. We both attended the same lesson, and it was a spiritual lesson, actually. And when we walked away, we had two totally different conclusions. I felt that it was absolutely terrific, and he felt that it was a negative experience because he felt personally attacked in his political stance. So I tried to explain that the concept was not to judge anybody, but it was just to show the differences in humanity and how we are just all over the place. And there was no convincing him of anything different. And that's okay. That was his reality. But here we had two people witnessing the same exact thing, coming up with two totally different realities. So that is just the way that we are. So we need to be careful about what we're thinking, because at any time, I believe that we all want to have a positive experience rather than a negative experience in life. So if we just shift our minds more towards the positive things, we will attract more of that stuff into our lives. So unfortunately, what most of us end up doing is we focus our attention on what is and our interpretation of what is, or that negative expectation of what is to be. And depending on the situation, it could make us feel afraid, angry, sad, scared, or confused. So these negative feelings then activate that vibration inside of us that doesn't serve us. Because again, who wants to have a negative reality? And then we project this vibration, and in turn, we begin to attract more of that same bad feeling. We bring more of whatever it is that we are focused on into our reality. Since we are creating our realities, we need to be really, really conscious about what we're thinking and feeling and what we are focusing our attentions on. We are the lives that we create for ourselves. And our thoughts create our realities every single moment of every single day. So now we're going to begin our guided meditation, and the focus is going to be on creating positive realities for ourselves and saying no to the negative thoughts and vibrations that don't serve us. So the benefits of meditation are incredible and life-changing. And that is a guarantee. When we take time to quiet our minds, the benefits to our bodies and minds is immense. The more we do it, the greater the benefit. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. The more that we do it, the easier it becomes. And the idea is to calm your body and mind, and then go on a journey of positive thought and creating positive realities for ourselves. And I've been sticking with the same general theme in the meditation, because the more repetition that we have, the more effective it becomes. You're basically training your mind to quiet itself more efficiently. So use your imagination. Some people can visualize better than others, so don't think that you're doing it wrong if your mind wanders. Just acknowledge that it wandered, and then bring it back to my voice. And be kind to yourself. You're doing a great thing for yourselves just by being here tonight. If you're not able to follow along, then just enjoy the relaxing sounds and the quieting of your mind. And I'm also putting these meditations on YouTube as well. So if you go to youtube.com and you search in my name, Greg Koslowski, you'll see all of the meditations out there and the talks as well. So I want you to get yourself comfortable. Keep your feet flat on the floor in front of you and place your hands in your lap. Sit up in your chair with your spine straight and your shoulders back. We're going to breathe together tonight because I want to stress how important it is that we breathe before the meditation, and that we be conscious of our breathing during the meditation. So when we do these breaths, I want you to take a deep breath in and out with no pause between the in and the out. You may want to sip some water before you begin, because we're going to breathe deep, continuous breaths, and it's better to do it through our mouths so we can get enough oxygen into our brains and bodies. So let's close our eyes, and we're going to begin with 15 deep, continuous breaths. When we are done, we'll go back to normal but conscious breaths. Let's begin. I want you to imagine you're sitting on the most beautiful beach. The sand is so soft it looks and feels like powdered sugar. The air is crisp and smells so pure and clean. The temperature is absolutely perfect. It's not too hot and it's not too cool. The gentle breeze moves effortlessly over your skin as the sun warms your face and body. It's the most perfect day in every way. The birds are singing as they fly by, and you have this entire beautiful beach all to yourself. When you look out to the ocean, instead of seeing waves of water, you see waves of the most purest light that you have ever seen. These beautiful waves of light are so captivating and comforting that you can't stop taking in their tranquil beauty. You watch as these waves of light come closer and closer to you each time they reach the shore. Eventually they come right up to your toes and just completely cover them. The waves of light have such a warm, comforting feeling. Your toes become completely relaxed, and the waves of light retreat back to the ocean. Another wave of light comes in and covers your feet and halfway up your legs. And now your legs and feet and toes become completely relaxed by these beautiful calming waves of light. It's just the most perfect day and the most incredibly relaxing experience you have ever had. Another wave of light comes in, and now it covers half of your body. As the wave goes back out to the ocean, it leaves the entire lower half of your body completely relaxed, taking away all the stress and soreness with it. Now another wave comes in and gently covers your entire body, relaxing every inch of your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Your body has never felt so good and so relaxed. You just take a few moments to enjoy this incredible feeling. And you're comforted in the fact of knowing that this is your special beach, and you can come here whenever you want. And just take time for yourself and just relax. In this deeply relaxed state, you look down the beach and you see a beautiful, lush, tropical forest. It looks so peaceful with the sun shining and the waves of light caressing the shore next to it. You decide to take a closer look and explore this peaceful forest. As you approach the forest, you can hear the birds singing, and you can smell the incredible fragrance of the flowers that permeate the air. You notice a stone path that goes into the forest, so you decide to take a walk. As you walk down the path, you see flowers everywhere. The sun shining through the trees. The light dances on every flower and every green leaf. In the center of the forest, you see a beautiful garden bursting with flowers of every color, even some colors that you've never seen before. It's such an incredible sight. And in the middle of the garden is the most spectacular fountain that you've ever seen. Except this is no ordinary fountain. It's a fountain of the most pristine light. It's an incredible ice blue light, and it's so calming to look at as it flows like water. This is your very own healing fountain. Whatever this light touches has no other choice than to be healed. You touch the light with your hand, and immediately your body becomes tingly. You can feel the warm, healing energy from the light go into every cell in your body. It's the most amazing feeling you have ever experienced. As you stand next to the fountain enjoying this feeling, you begin to see different events in your life unfold before you on the floor of the garden. Realities that you are living that may not have been all that positive. As the event unfolds, you begin to see that if you had only held on to a more positive thought at that moment, it would have changed the negative reality that you had created for yourself. A reality that you didn't deserve and didn't serve you. If you had only taken a moment and shifted your thoughts from doubt, pessimism, anger, frustration, and hurt to more positive emotions about the event, the outcome would have been totally different, and the events that followed would have been more positive experiences for yourself. You reach into the fountain and scoop up a handful of healing light, and you pour it over the image of that event. And you say, from this day forward, I will make a conscious effort to remain positive in every event and challenge that I am faced with. I understand that I am the only one responsible for the reality that is my life. And I choose my reality to be peaceful, joyful, and loving. Now you see the next event begin to unfold. Maybe it was a time when you experienced some type of mishap. Your reaction to it may be of anger and frustration, rather than taking a deep breath and redirecting your emotions to positivity. You allowed the anger and frustration to carry throughout your entire day, creating a reality for yourself that was far from uplifting and positive. You reach into the fountain and scoop up a handful of healing light, and you pour it over the image of that event. And you say, from this day forward, I will make a conscious effort to remain positive in every event and challenge that I am faced with. I understand that I am the only one responsible for the reality that is my life. And I choose my reality to be peaceful, joyful, and loving. This is your garden and your healing fountain, so anything that you could imagine must appear here if you wish. Now take a few minutes on your own to visit some other events in your life where you can plainly see that if you had reached a different conclusion, one of more positivity, that your reality would have been far more pleasant. You could have had many or a few. This is your garden, your healing fountain of positive thoughts. So it's whatever you want or need. And remember, you can come to this place whenever you want and as often as you like. So take a few minutes on your own. As you finish up for now, remember, you can take this journey on your own whenever you'd like and however often. Now you reach into the healing fountain of light and you scoop up some more light in your hands. And you pour it over yourself, so you are covered from head to toe with the healing light. Giving yourself the ability to be aware of all situations where a change in your thoughts to positivity will create new, incredible realities for yourself. You reach into the healing fountain of light and you fill your arms with as much light as they can hold. And in your newfound sense of positivity and self-awareness, you become light as a feather and you begin to lift off of the ground like a helium balloon, holding your armful of light. You rise above the garden and above the forest. You float above the clouds, out of the earth's atmosphere. You rise so far that you can see the entire earth. The earth looks like a big blue marble from here. And from here it looks so peaceful and so beautiful, the way that it is truly meant to be. You open your arms and you pour the light down onto the earth. and you watch as it completely envelops the entire planet. You covered the earth with healing light, giving the ability to all people to have positive thoughts and enabling them to create positive and fulfilling realities for themselves and for others, and to bring peace and just spread love and joy. It's such an incredible sight to see the earth surrounded by this beautiful healing light. You take one last look at this beautiful sight, and you begin to float back towards Earth as light as a feather. You begin to see the entire state as you gently float down. You float through the white puffy clouds, and you begin to see your beautiful beach and forest. You float through the forest treetops and into the garden. And you gently touch down next to your healing fountain of light. You take one last look around for now at your beautiful garden. You can come here as often as you like and use your garden to maintain positive thoughts and wonderful, uplifting realities. This is your fountain, your garden, your forest, and your beach. You begin to walk on the stone path back toward the beach. You now have an incredible feeling of positivity and a strong belief that your new realities are going to be incredible. With every step that you take towards the beach, you begin to become more and more present with an incredible feeling of peace, calmness, and joy, and feeling so much lighter. You begin to return to this room and become more and more aware of your surroundings. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes with a new, renewed feeling of inner peace, happiness, and love. Okay, you can stretch and get your blood flowing again. And how does everybody feel? I see a lot of smiles. Some people with their eyes still closed, that's fine. Just continue to relax. I wrote an affirmation that you can repeat to yourselves throughout the week. I am my thoughts. My thoughts are positive. So I am my thoughts. My thoughts are positive. And it's on the back table, so you can take a picture of it if you'd like and repeat it as often as you like. And remember, a belief is just a thought that we keep repeating. So starting tonight, why not have a belief that all of our realities are positive and uplifting? I hope that you all take something positive away from this experience tonight. I know that I always do. And I am grateful for having this comfortable space that the Center for Spiritual Living has provided for us. I will hopefully see you all next Tuesday night. Bring your friends if you can and spread the word. The more people that we can positively impact, the more beautiful life will be for all of us. Thank you again for coming out tonight, and namaste.